Well, Barrios, do you think he beats Barrios?
Don't matter if he beats Barrios or not. Still Rolly Pacquiao. How many losses does Pacquiao have? Oh, that's another thing, bro. Pacquiao another one that don't give a about losses, and everyone keep tuning in for him, right?
Take a chance every time to knock him out. If you ever hurt him, finish him. But meanwhile, just sit back and box and do your thing.
That's financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money.
Boxing fans are split on Manny Pacquiao fighting again at 46. Floyd Mayweather thinks it's a bad idea that might hurt Pacquiao's name and says it's sad. He's still getting in the ring at this age. People are worried about his health and reasons for fighting, with many thinking it's more about money than proving anything.
Whereas Pacquiao, at his age, which is sad that he has to fight.
Rolly Romero doesn't care if Pacquiao wins or loses against Barrios. He says Manny's already a legend and one of those guys who fights just because he loves the game. Romero even said he'd be down to face Pacquiao next.
Which fighters actually qualify?
Rolly Pacquiao.
Well, Barrios, do you think he beats Barrios?
Don't matter if he beats Barrios or not. Still Rolly Pacquiao. How many losses does Pacquiao have? Oh, that's another thing, bro. Pacquiao another one that don't give a about losses, and everyone keep tuning in for him, right? Bro, all that undefeated, that don't mean shit if you're not fighting nobody. Nobody gives a fuck about you.
Roy Jones Jr. gave props to Pacquiao, saying he's already done everything in boxing. He believes Manny's past wins speak loud enough and he doesn't need to come back. Roy respects him deeply, but doesn't think fighting again is needed at this point.
Fighter of the decade, 1990s, passing on the torch to Manny Pacquiao, fighter of the 2000.
Right?
Any advice tonight for him?
Just be smart. Don't get overly aggressive. Try to be smart with your aggression. Take your shots when you can, but don't go out there to just strictly knock him out. Just outbox him like you did last time. And when you get chances, take chances and try to knock him out. If you ever hurt him, finish him. But meanwhile, just sit back and box and do your thing. You have nothing to prove to him.
Any advice for any children and youth on the benefits of sports, not smoking in general? What would you say to them?
No smoking, no drinking, party lightly. Always keep your own mind. That's how I got to where I am now. I always keep my own mind. No smoking, no drinking, no drugs. Stay in your own mind. In your own mind, then you can make your own choices and decisions the proper way. Give yourself the best chance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Salamat. Thank you.
Tim Bradley shared doubts about Manny's return, saying it feels more about money than love for boxing. He said retired boxers often come back due to money problems. Bradley added that Barrios is young and strong, which might make this fight dangerous enough to end Manny's career.
Pacquiao getting back in the ring again for a world title fight.
Well, obviously, you know, it has to be pertaining to any kind of money. You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money. One. Two, I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring, man, against Ugas. You know, he didn't look good. He was outmatched by, you know, a younger fighter. Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, you know, bigger fighter, knows how to, you know, control distance very well, can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous. And sometimes, you know, these old legends, they got to get beat up several times before they call it quits. You know, that Ugas fight, I don't know if it was enough for Pacquiao. That's why he's coming back. But Barrios?
Fight expert Ryan Campbell shared his thoughts on Manny's surprise comeback. He said it's wild seeing a 46-year-old take on a younger champ like Barrios. Campbell compared it to when George Foreman shocked the world. He said older boxers sometimes find one last burst, and while doubts are normal, boxing always leaves room for magic.
An only 8-division world champion. He'll be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame next month. And then in July, BC is going to come out of retirement. Why now?
By the way, between those two dates, I believe he has an election coming up for a Senate position in the Philippines. So we always know that Manny is a busy man. He gets after it. He also dares to be great. And this is wild news. Look, in the boxing underground rumor mill, this had been floating around for a couple months. We just didn't know if it was going to be for real. Was Manny really going to commit to not just coming back after 4 years away, after just one fight in the last 6 years, at age 46, but to come back directly into a title fight against a young, in his prime, active champion, Mario Barrios? It's interesting theater, to say the least. It's a pay-per-view main event, reportedly for July 19th. And we know Manny Pacquiao has always brought big business, but now he's going to bring it in more of the late career George Foreman type of way to etch himself into that record book even further. Can Manny do it? I mean, look, the odds are certainly against him. But there's one thing about certain legends in this game. Think Bernard Hopkins, who fought into a very late age. Some of them, as long as they can physically get themselves into that ring, sometimes they can reproduce magic for one night. So it's a romantic situation. I got cats walking around.
Yep.
People are excited to see the Pac-Man back. You just got to kind of figure out, is this for real? Is he going to be for real? Or are we going to send him into a physical, violent retirement?
Campbell also looked at how Manny's body is holding up, even though he's not in his best form. Manny's quick hands and footwork still outshine many current boxers. He might not be as sharp, but he's still got moves. A recent training video shows him throwing fast combos and dancing around like he did in his prime.
Power, right? He hasn't fought in 4 years. What makes you think he's got a chance against the much younger, the 29-year-old Mario Barrios?
Look, I'm not saying the odds will be high that he's going to come back and pull this upset or even be ultra competitive. But again, it's sort of like Manny's already superhuman. Turning pro at like age 15 or 16 at 106 pounds and winning titles in 8 divisions. And, oh, by the way, 2 fights ago for Manny in 2019, he came out of retirement and beat an unbeaten Keith Thurman for the welterweight title at the age of 40. There's very few greats that you can call all-time greats, and I think sometimes even above that category, there's that upper room. Is Manny Pacquiao one of those in boxing history? Sure. But let's look at a couple things. The last thing to go is power, yes. Manny was also absurdly fast in his prime. So like a Roy Jones Jr. who hung on far too long, but was still fighting professionally at the age of 50, he still got speed that kind of compares to the average or above average speed that's out there today.
Promoter Frank Warren and broadcaster Simon Jordan strongly disagreed with Manny returning. They said letting a 45-year-old enter a big title match isn't smart. Warren said it's sad and pointless, while Jordan added that Manny's done enough, and risking his health feels more like using him than honoring him.
I mean, Frank can speak to it far more eloquently than I can. I think it's a disgraceful decision. I think it's a appalling decision. I mean, the WBC make lots of appalling decisions, and I'm not a big fan of them. But the fact of the matter is Pacquiao is a legend of the sport. I don't know why they'd want to do it, whether it's the fees that they get as a result of it or whether it's the publicity. Boxing is in a brilliant position right now because of the Frank Warrens in the world and the relationships that he's developed over the last couple of years with the Saudis. That's opened the door for everybody else. We're getting brilliant fights. We don't need to rehash somebody that's 46 years of age that didn't look great in his last fight, stick him in against a world champion who isn't a great world champion, but that's not the point. The optics of this, the reality of this, there's no necessity for it.
They question why this fight is even allowed, hinting that money is the main reason behind it. They believe Pacquiao should be remembered as a retired great, not dragged back into a risky match. According to them, this choice might end in regret instead of glory.
Necessity for it, besides the WBC doing it for, I think, illegitimate reasons.
Why? I mean, Frank, you know the sport inside out. It seems to me, why does boxing always seem to allow for these kind of stories to manifest themselves?
Well, it's not boxing doing it, it's the governing body. I mean, it's their title and they decide who can fight for their title, so that rests with the governing body. I mean, for me, George Foreman came back, but he came back at an old age and won the title at 50 years. He was 50 years of age when he fought. You know, you look at
but he didn't go straight into a world title fight though, did he, Frank? He built up.
That's the point I was going to make. You know, you come in and you test the water. Go straight in for a world title fight is I don't see. I just don't go with that, and I don't understand that.
Yeah.
And and there are older guys who've managed over the years, although they've been active. For example, Bernard Hopkins, who's a great fighter, who fought well into his.
Not everyone thinks it's a bad idea. Some believe Pacquiao still has what it takes and could surprise people. They say his ring smarts and skills might still shine. But fans also remember how he looked 5 years ago, slow and not like his old self. That mix of hope and worry shows how confused people are about what this fight truly means.
But man, he's been retired for 4 years. He's 46 years old. His last fight was in 2021, and he lost to Ugas in a unanimous decision. I watched his exhibition bout against the kickboxer guy in Japan. That didn't look good. This is a bad idea. A really bad idea. And again, I think people will look at this and go, well, Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson, and yeah, that happened. And I also said that Mike was going to get really badly hurt, and it was a terrible idea for him to do that. And there were some health issues and everything else. Luckily, Mike didn't get super hurt in the fight, but this is a world championship level fight against a sitting world champion, and Manny does not belong in there. And again, I'm worried that he's going to get hurt badly for the same reasons. What do I mean? The breakdown. Let's go. Let's just start here. Manny Pacquiao, again, I just went over it. 46 years old, been retired 4 years, lost his last fight. He beat Keith Thurman before that, but that was 2019. So it's been a while. And this is not me discounting who I think is one of the greatest boxers ever and has an argument to be the greatest ever, because what did he won world championships in how many different divisions? 8, 9, something crazy like that. There'll never be anybody like Manny Pacquiao. But let's just look at it and throw away your bias or throw away your fandom of Manny Pacquiao, because of course there's going to be a ton of people that watch this, and fair play, right, to those people that want to watch this. They want to see their guy go out and try to give it his all one more time. And Mario Barrios didn't look super spectacular when he was on the Netflix card, the Jake and Mike card.
Some in boxing are harsher, calling the fight a bad look for the sport. They compared it to shows like Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. But since this fight involves a world title, it's way more serious and raises real concern about how boxing is being handled.
Manny Pacquiao against Mario Barrios fight is signed, done for July of 2025. Pacquiao is 46 years old. We haven't seen him in the ring in years. Are you cool with Pacquiao against Mario Barrios?
If I was cool with Manny Pacquiao coming back and fighting Keith Thurman, I'm definitely going to be cool with this one. Barrios is not a puncher. Thurman was one of the biggest punchers in boxing. I think he's going to be just fine.
If Pacquiao wants to come back as a Hall of Famer and fight one more time, whatever. He didn't look good against Yordenis Ugas, and that was 5 years ago. We've seen him in these exhibitions looking fleshy, to say the least. It's meaningless because if Barrios wins, he's never going to fight a Boots Ennis. If Pacquiao wins, he's not going to fight anybody ever again. So I'm kind of indifferent to the whole thing.
WBC boss Mauricio Suleiman confirmed the fight and defended giving Pacquiao another title shot. He praised Manny for sticking with boxing and said he wants to retire as a champ. Suleiman admitted it's risky, but called the match a special moment in boxing history for a once-in-a-lifetime fighter.
The WBC president Mauricio Suleiman has said Mario Barrios will face Manny Pacquiao this July. That's some crazy shit, bro. That's some crazy news. Manny Pacquiao is 46 years of age. He's making his return to the ring. And he said he wants to go out with a bang. He wants to finish his career as a champion. That's some crazy shit. Manny Pacquiao's professional record currently stands at 62 wins. 39 of those coming via knockout, 8 losses and 2 draws. Manny Pacquiao has one of the most impressive CVs in the sport of boxing. Just take a look at from 09 Ricky Hatton all the way up until here. There's so many names: Timothy Bradley, Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Joshua Clotley, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, Jesse Vargas. Like, there's so many names on this list. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at Mario Barrios' record. 29 wins, 18 of those coming via knockout, 2 losses and 1 draw on his resume. What do I make of this fight? I don't know, you know. I mean, listen, this is a young man's sport. I ask myself, Manny Pacquiao, why do you want to come back and fight a younger fighter? You know what I mean? Mario Barrios, who is the current champion, who's the WBC champion. Why? What have you got to prove? You've proven everything throughout your career. So I don't know what to say, but anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and watch a clip of the president of WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, talk about this.
As of now, Mario Barrios is the WBC champion. So who is he mandated to fight next? Do you have made that decision yet?
Well, at this time, Mario Barrios is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in July. He wants to retire as WBC champion, so he's fighting in the welterweight division.
Why does he come out of retirement and get a WBC title shot in his first fight?
Because it's something that WBC has respected. Sugar Ray Leonard was retired 4 years when he requested to fight Marvin Hagler and defeated Hagler. So we do have that provision in the rules. A legendary champion with the credentials such as Manny Pacquiao. He has been medically cleared, licensed by Nevada, so we have voted in favor to allow that fight to happen.
Coach Greg Hackett was brutally honest. He said if this happened years ago, Manny would have beaten Barrios easily, but now he sees a version of Pacquiao that's slower, less tough, and not as hungry. To Hackett, this isn't a clash of legends, it's a money show dressed up as a championship match.
Hit a lick, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might run and beat Pacquiao up. I mean, not knock him out, but, you know what I mean, beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugas, the Ugas fight?
Yeah, like on. It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang, so, I mean, why not? If he can make it happen, make it happen. Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like that. And that's a fight you know you got to get ready for.
It's a fight that boxing fans want to criticize you for.
Yeah.
But the reality is Manny Pacquiao has a die-hard fan base that you're going to make money with that fight.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to see other fights at 47. You Stanionis, you Boobs, you Brian Norman.
Yeah, but he want to steal as much as he can steal. You know what I mean? Because again, this shit is not forever. Just like anything else, it's going to end. So you want to make some money and you want to do great things.
When Pacquiao announced his comeback, people were shocked. After leaving the sport in 2021 and staying quiet, few expected him back. The news brought both excitement and nervous energy. While the WBC gave the green light, fans still wonder if this return will add to Manny's story or hurt it. Meanwhile, Barrios and his team are fully focused. They're training like they're fighting the old Pacquiao, the fierce one who ruled boxing. They respect Manny's brain in the ring and say they won't take him lightly.
They presented us, with this opportunity, and he said, you know what, I'll bite down for it one more time. And then from there, obviously we had a tough loss, but it was a competitive fight. And his first fight at 147 pounds, he goes on and takes on Keith Thurman. No tune-ups, no getting used to the thing. Goes at that point is about as good as you can get in the division and took on that. So he takes on all comers, all challenges. His first world title against Batirov, the Russian, is about as tough as you could have done at the time. And so I think he's earned the right now to be in the biggest, best possible fights. And now it's going to be up to Al Heyman and Louis DeCubas Jr. on what they see is best and fit for his career, whether that's, Pacquiao, Spence, if that's a unification with Boots Ennis. That'll be up to them. But I do know one thing about Mario Barrios.
That wraps up today's video. Stick around for more next time.